Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into today's breaking news about the $4,200 stimulus check payments, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates on Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA benefits. Have you been anxiously waiting for news about the next stimulus payment? Well, today's update might just be what you've been looking for. In a surprising development that's unfolding over the next 24 hours, there's significant movement regarding stimulus payments specifically targeting Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA beneficiaries. Let me ask you this, wouldn't an extra $4,200 make a substantial difference in your life right now? For millions of Americans depending on fixed incomes, this potential payment could be a game changer, especially with the rising costs of everyday essentials. The latest proposal, which has gained considerable traction in Congress, aims to provide targeted relief to some of our most vulnerable citizens. This isn't just another rumor, we're seeing real momentum building behind this initiative. But what makes this particular update so crucial? Let's break down the details of what's happening in Washington right now. According to sources close to the negotiations, lawmakers have been working around the clock to finalize the details of this stimulus package. The proposed $4,200 payment would be specifically designed to help offset the impact of inflation and rising living costs on fixed-income beneficiaries. But here's what makes this different from previous stimulus efforts. This time, there's a specific focus on ensuring the funds reach those who need them most. You might be wondering, how is this different from previous stimulus payments? Well, this proposal includes several unique features that set it apart. First, it's specifically targeted at Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA beneficiaries, recognizing the unique challenges these groups face. Second, the distribution method has been streamlined based on lessons learned from previous payments, potentially allowing for faster delivery to recipients. The timing of this update is particularly significant, with economic pressures continuing to mount and many Americans struggling to keep up with rising prices. This potential relief couldn't come at a more critical time. But what exactly do you need to do to ensure you're eligible if this payment is approved? For Social Security beneficiaries, the good news is that most of the process would be automatic. If you're currently receiving Social Security benefits, your information is already in the system. However, there are some important steps you might need to take to ensure you receive the full amount you're entitled to. Are your contact details up to date with the Social Security Administration? This simple detail could make the difference between receiving your payment promptly or facing delays. SSDI recipients have been particularly vocal about the need for additional support, and this proposal seems to address many of their concerns. The payment would be structured to complement existing benefits without affecting eligibility for other assistance programs. But what about the timing? When could you actually see this money in your account? For SSI beneficiaries, the proposal includes provisions to ensure that these payments won't count against resource limits, a crucial detail that wasn't always clear in previous stimulus efforts. This means you wouldn't have to worry about losing your regular benefits because of receiving this payment. Isn't it refreshing to see this level of consideration for program participants? VA beneficiaries aren't left out either. The proposal includes specific provisions for veterans, recognizing their service and ongoing needs. The payment would be processed through the VA system, similar to how previous stimulus payments were handled, but with improvements to address past delivery delays. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? It's a fair question, and there are some important details to consider. While the proposal has gained significant support, it still needs to clear several legislative hurdles. The next 24 hours are crucial as key votes and negotiations take place that could determine whether this becomes reality. Let's talk about the economic impact of these payments. Studies from previous stimulus efforts have shown that when money goes to fixed-income beneficiaries, it tends to be spent quickly on essential needs, providing an immediate boost to local economies. This fact hasn't been lost on lawmakers pushing for the proposal. But what about inflation concerns? Some economists have weighed in, suggesting that targeted payments like these, focused on specific groups rather than the general population, are less likely to contribute to inflationary pressures. Isn't it interesting how different this approach is from previous stimulus efforts? The distribution timeline is another crucial aspect of this proposal. Unlike previous payments that took months to reach recipients, This plan includes measures for expedited processing. The goal is to get payments into the hands of beneficiaries within weeks of approval, not months. How would faster delivery impact your financial planning? One of the most frequently asked questions we're receiving is about eligibility requirements. The good news is that if you're currently receiving Social Security, SSDI, SSI, or VA benefits, you're likely already qualified. The system would use existing payment information, making the process as seamless as possible for most recipients. But here's something you need to know. While the payment would be automatic for most eligible recipients, there might be some situations where additional information is required. Have you moved recently? Changed banks? These are the kinds of updates you might need to provide to ensure smooth delivery of your payment. The proposal also includes provisions for those who might have been overlooked in previous stimulus efforts. This includes people who became eligible for benefits recently or those who had issues with previous payments. Isn't it encouraging to see lessons learned from past experiences being applied to improve the process? Let's discuss the potential impact on different benefit categories. For Social Security retirement beneficiaries, this payment would provide additional support beyond the recent cost of living adjustment, COLA. SSDI recipients would see similar benefits, with the payment designed to help offset increased living expenses that might not be fully covered by regular benefits. SSI recipients, who often face the strictest resource limits, would find particular relief in the proposal's provisions ensuring the payment doesn't count against program eligibility. This protection was specifically included after advocacy groups highlighted the challenges faced by SSI beneficiaries during previous stimulus efforts. VA beneficiaries would see the payment processed through familiar channels, with the VA coordinating directly with the Treasury Department to ensure smooth delivery. This coordination has been enhanced based on experiences with previous payments, potentially reducing the delays some veterans experienced in the past. The timing of this proposal is particularly interesting given recent economic indicators. With inflation affecting everything from food prices to housing costs, many beneficiaries have found their regular payments stretched increasingly thin. Wouldn't an extra $4,200 help provide some much-needed breathing room? But what about the long-term implications? While this payment would provide immediate relief, there are ongoing discussions about more sustainable solutions to support fixed-income beneficiaries. Could this be the beginning of a more comprehensive approach to addressing the needs of these vulnerable populations? The proposal has attracted attention from both sides of the political aisle, with supporters emphasizing the targeted nature of the relief and its focus on those most in need. How might this bipartisan interest affect the chances of approval in the next 24 hours? One aspect that's particularly noteworthy is the attention paid to implementation details. Learning from previous stimulus efforts, the proposal includes specific measures to address common issues that caused delays or complications in the past. Isn't it refreshing to see past experiences being used to improve future outcomes? The role of advocacy groups in shaping this proposal shouldn't be overlooked. Organizations representing seniors, disabled individuals, and veterans have provided valuable input on how to make the payment process more efficient and effective. Their insights have helped address many of the challenges faced during previous stimulus efforts. For those wondering about tax implications, the proposal includes provisions to ensure these payments would not be counted as taxable income. This clarity helps recipients better understand the true value of the payment and plan accordingly. Wouldn't it be helpful to know exactly how much of the $4,200 you'll get to keep? The impact on local communities could be significant. When fixed-income beneficiaries receive additional support, the money tends to flow directly into local businesses and services. Have you thought about how this might benefit your community as a whole? Looking at the broader economic picture, these targeted payments represent a more nuanced approach to economic stimulus. Rather than a one-size-fits-all solution, this proposal recognizes the specific needs of different beneficiary groups. Could this more targeted approach become a model for future relief efforts? The proposal also includes measures to prevent fraud and ensure payments reach their intended recipients. Enhanced security measures have been incorporated based on lessons learned from previous stimulus programs. Isn't it important to know that steps are being taken to protect these payments? For those who might need assistance with the process, the proposal includes funding for increased support services. This means more resources would be available to help beneficiaries navigate any questions or concerns about their payments. How might this additional support help ensure everyone receives their payment? The next 24 hours are crucial for this proposal. Key discussions and votes could determine whether these payments become reality. We'll be closely monitoring developments and providing updates as they occur. Wouldn't you like to stay informed about every step of this process? As we continue to track this developing story, remember that your voice matters. Many of the improvements in this proposal came from beneficiary feedback about previous stimulus efforts. Have you shared your experiences with your representatives? Before we wrap up, let's recap the key points about these potential $4,200 payments. They're specifically targeted at Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA beneficiaries, designed to provide rapid relief, and include provisions to protect beneficiary eligibility for other programs. The next 24 hours will be crucial in determining whether this proposal moves forward. Remember to stay tuned to our channel for the latest updates on this developing story. We'll be monitoring the situation closely and bringing you real-time information as it becomes available. Have you subscribed to our channel yet? If not, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any important updates about these potential payments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video with more breaking news about benefits and support programs that matter to you. Don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts on this proposal. We'd love to hear your perspective.